The PS1 was probably the king for the survival horror game back in the day. I mean, you have Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Alone in the Dark, the Overblood series. Okay, that series was a bit shit, but the list goes on. One I'm really fond of is Dino Crisis, which was created by the team who made Resident Evil. I mean, when it was released, this game reviewed and sold really well, but I never hear people talk about it anymore. Apparently it's Capcom's 13th best-selling game, but like I said, no one talks about it anymore. I wouldn't call it underrated, that's not what I'd say. I'd say it's underappreciated.
If Jurassic Park taught us anything, it's that dinosaurs are scary and wouldn't think twice about eating you whilst taking a dump. So someone at Capcom must have had this brainwave while taking a terrifying bowel evacuation and thought they'd make a game about it, and hence we got Dino Crisis. Instead of labelling the game survival horror like they did with most of the games back in the day, Capcom labelled this game survival panic, and they weren't lying there. The game will be massively familiar to anyone who's picked up a Resident Evil game. The game had the traditional Capcom survival horror staples, collecting items, puzzles both with the inventory and normal brain teaser variety, limited ammo and health items, but funnily enough, Dino Crisis did make some changes that set it apart and played all round better than Resident Evil in my opinion. Your character could move and keep their gun primed at the same time, so you could quickly react to the raptors prowling the corridors. And with the static camera angles obscuring your view, this was a pretty necessary technique. The load times were snappier as well, thanks to the game being rendered in fully 3D, unlike the pre-rendered backgrounds of Capcom's other games. This also made items actually visible on the ground, unlike the twinkle you'd see in Resident Evil. And speaking of items, you have a pretty big inventory, so item storage wasn't that necessary, but it was part of the game. You had to pick up plugs which unlock panels across the game map where you can deposit and withdraw items. And obviously the dinosaurs are what set it apart mostly. These were quick, agile, and hunt you down. They would even hop over small obstacles and try and break through doors, which terrified me the first time I played it. I was used to being safe after I went through a door. I think we all remember that first encounter in the first Resident Evil, and it still haunts me to this day. But really, that zombie wasn't very threatening, he wasn't fast or deadly, whereas the first thing we encounter in this game is a Velociraptor, so the game didn't faff about. They did really create the survival panic atmosphere, as those dinosaurs wouldn't give up hunting you down. This first encounter is where you'll quickly realise that taking down one of these is no easy task. On the normal difficulty, it can take 10 plus handgun bullets to bring down a raptor, and it will more than likely bite your nipples off as well, so you'll have to use a health pack. This makes your best option to run away in a blind panic, and most of the time you'll run into a room thinking you're safe, and there'll be another hungry raptor in that room you just fled into, and then the raptor chasing you will come crashing through the door ready to tear shit up. Certainly there is an easier way to deal with the dinos. Along your way you'll find tranquilizer darts which can be loaded into a few of the weapons you pick up during the game. And these take down your enemies in usually one hit, but depending on the strength of the trank they might not be asleep for long. And obviously you pick up more powerful weapons as well, but again ammo is limited. Sadly there's only 5 types of dinosaurs in the game. The raptors, which you fight in 95% of the time, the T-Rex, which you can't actually kill, these, and the pterodactyl type dinos, and there's these, which are just upgraded raptors. The environments can get grating as well. The whole game takes place on an island lab, so you're going to be seeing a lot of grey corridors, and my arch nemesis backtracking makes an appearance as well throughout the game. And saving can be a case of blind luck. See, you can only save when you exit certain rooms, so sometimes you'll want to save your progress and end up running through door after door, hoping you find the right one that lets you save, and that can really cock up your rhythm. Getting a lot of progress made, then having to backtrack to a door you know contains a save point instead of risking dying and pressing on to find a new door. And the plot is just stupid, and yeah, this is Capcom we're talking about. I've seen special school kids smear shit on the classroom whiteboard, and I'd still put my money on that winning a BAFTA than anything Capcom's ever written. The plot revolves around a professor named Dr. Kirk, who led some controversial and groundbreaking research in alternative energy. He apparently died in a lab explosion, but no evidence shows he faked his death and has a new lab set up on Ibis Island to complete his experiments after his country stopped funding him. A lone agent is sent in undercover and goes dark, so then a whole team of special agents are sent in to investigate, including our main protagonist called Regina. Obviously the situation quickly goes to shit when the dinosaurs get involved, and it's your mission to find Dr. Kirk, find out what's going on and get off the island alive. To put the plot in a nutshell, it turns out Dr. Kirk's experiments in alternative power have caused a rift, and that's how dinosaurs have entered the island, because you know them wind turbines near your house are going to open a hole in the space-time continuum where T-Rexes are going to storm out. The plot, like Resi, has multiple endings as well, which I'm not going to spoil here. The music and sound is really good, it has some really good creepy tracks, and the raptors' grunts echo down the corridors, keeping you on edge.
I think to wrap up, Dino Crisis is definitely worth your time. If you love Resident Evil back in the day, then this game definitely deserves a place in your library.
And there, it's over, you can relax now. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like what I did here, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. I want to know what your favourite dinosaur themed game is. And also you can click on the video links here to view my other stuff. Cheers.